Okay, so welcome to, I think it's the 9th devlog video that I'm making. Basically, if you're new here, the application is about filtering unwanted colors on your device, helping you become more productive. I think one of the first few things that I did is migrate my server from a Express plus Bun to one of the fastest Express servers that you can get. If you're currently in NodeJS, you probably heard of Bun and what it's made out of. So it's built on top of the uWebsockets, which is another faster version of NodeJS. But essentially what I decided to do is to migrate my server to an Express framework that is built on top of a uWebsockets.js. And the beauty of doing this, just like the Bun framework, is that it is drop-in replacement for your original Express framework or library. And that's why testing it is extremely easy. I guess why I'm doing this is because I've seen the numbers and I've even asked a bunch of different AIs as to do pros and cons as to why this will be beneficial. And obviously it's going to be better for performance, infrastructure costs, in terms of efficiency. Then it can process more requests and even have better WebSocket connection. Maybe not connection, but latency. And so that's exactly what I did. So to migrate my server to an original Express library to this Ultimate Express. If you know WebSockets in Express, there's this library called Express WS library, what essentially just makes it easier for you to add a WebSocket server. And there's nothing like this that's using the Ultimate WS. And so I literally had to build my own library that then applies the same functionality as the original library of Express WS. Instead of using Express and the original WebSocket framework, I'm using Express and the Ultimate WebSocket, which is the upgrade version. I don't know. I've yet to really test out the differences in terms of production. I've yet to see it, but so far it's doing well. The thing is, maybe this is not ideal for anyone who already has a project that is used by a ton of people. But I guess for me, it's a drop-in replacement for Express and WebSockets. It's not going to be a big deal. If it doesn't work, I can easily migrate back to Bun, which is a much more well-established framework that already uses uWebsockets anyway. So yeah, but I'll link it in the description on how to use the Ultimate WS WebSockets, and then also the library that I did that makes it easier for you to add this new upgrade to your Express server. All right, so I think the rest of the week, I think this week is all about just testing, optimizing my different components, just like what I did last week, making sure that all the core features are 100% functionality. That's at least what I'm aiming at. I fixed the call invites, the greeting messages, the APIs for the call screenings are working, the real-time updates for the WebSockets, and even webhooks for different services that I was using. Just making sure that, I guess one of the recent issues that I had is I was sending headers twice. So if you were using a normal Node.js, that would have easily passed through. It wouldn't even be noticed. But with this library, I think it's a little bit more, I guess you call it declarative or stricter. Just had to make sure that the AI call screen is working, the text-to-speech is working, the transcription is all working. I guess you can kind of say it's a little bit of a boring week. But really, everything here is all about the testing, because that's been the most difficult aspect of this. I guess you could say why did I need to switch to Bun and so you Ultimate Express? Because why not? Yeah. So even though it's Friday, it's Friday now, I'm still testing. I'm still just double checking it first on the development side, and then I'm gonna do it on the actual server. And what does it build up to? So it builds up towards the external app testing that Apple has. If you're on test flight, there's internal and then the external. The external is essentially what you give out to people to then be able to actually use your application for them to test it. I got all the basic features working. I got the main stuff working, except for the newer ones. So what are the newer ones? It's the live listening feature. It's the live listening feature with your AI caller, and then bring that call back to your device, so the call transfer. just to give a little bit of context there. Yeah, so what's been happening is that sometimes the call will not be recognized, and sometimes the call will not. And while in the background, in some cases, I guess you could call it a UX issue. The transfer between your AI back to your device is a little bit more abrupt in terms of if you're the caller, you would hear this kind of music and then it would just break. And then now you're speaking to this person, he owns the number. And I think that I need some work on that because, maybe I need to announce that there's going to be a transfer happening, all that kind of stuff. And then maybe even on the device itself, like the transfer is a little bit more abrupt, where the live listening part would eventually just quickly end, and it would just bring up this call control view, even though the caller has yet to connect to the call. Does that make sense? I think it's better to just show it. Like that's one of the issues. The other one is tracking the call IDs on the hood, on the client side. That's also one of the difficult aspects here because of the complexity of how, different combinations of calls you can get. So, instead of just having 1 and 2, you can have a call between your AI, you can have a call on the call screener, and then maybe a call invite back to your device. And then maybe if something goes wrong, that then gets passed to your AI, which then needs to be updated back to your device. So it's like it's so many things going on. And yeah, I think it's definitely workable. I'm just reflecting on what's been happening. But so far it's doing well. I don't really have any complaints. I think we're moving towards the right direction. The landing page is already finished. The landing page is yet to be finished. I think what makes me feel better about business side is just knowing the numbers. Knowing the numbers on how to run each of the services that I'm using and keeping track of that number. And yeah, it's like, because knowing that number is that you can easily work with the markup price. As you know, like I'm using a cost plus pricing. Again, knowing the numbers alone makes it easier for you to I guess start designing some of the payment plans that you could offer. Sometimes maybe like you don't need to offer a stricter period of calls. Maybe you can only offer a usage base of calls, but you still have to pay for the monthly maintenance, that kind of thing. I definitely learned that this week, that you can actually have that. Instead of just basing it on the usage per services, you can literally just set it based on per unit of calls. I think I said that before a couple of weeks ago, and I just didn't migrate it because the change is gonna be hectic. And my goal is just to release this. I just want to get this out. But other than that, it's all about testing. Once I get the testing done, it becomes a lot easier to then submit a copy on the App Store for external review. That's all. That's currently what I'm heading towards. Other than that, it's easy. In terms of books, what I've been reading. The thing is, I haven't really been applying what I've been reading yet. So it's hard for me to recommend books. I think Marketing Made Easier is something that I've been reading. Just the 5-step framework there is easy to just grasp on and actually implement. And it's like if you read the one-page marketing plan, it's actually the same. Yeah, so I guess I mentioned memory leaks. What I tried so far doing is use this clinic.js for memory analysis, but it will work. I've also tried to make sure that the event closes are close for each of the API endpoints, which making sure that's well closed. I don't know where else to go from here. I think the memory leaks is something I'm gonna have to solve down the line. but I've seen the numbers and it's not looking good. Worst comes to worst, I think the worst case scenario is that I switch back to using Bun, where I've seen a massive drop off of that memory leaks. And I think, I don't know. I'm excited to use Ultimate Express, but I don't know. That's really all I got this week. If you are also test flighting application, I highly recommend this.